Okay, so welcome to Box of Faves again. And for this video, I'm going to talk about Jem and the Holograms, the complete series on DVD. For the longest time, this was not available on DVD. I believe there was a bunch of VHS tapes that were kind of floating around out there, which had selections of Jem episodes, Jem and the Holograms episodes, as I recall. So when the whole series came out on DVD, I was thrilled. I loved the show when I watched it when I was young, and yeah, so I think this was like 2011 at this 2011 where this came out on DVD. So it's really, yeah, it's really remarkable and wonderful, and I love the cover. It's kind of sparkly and glamorous and shiny, just just like Jem. Okay, so in this set you do get three DVDs, like three, sorry, three, um, three boxes of DVDs, and there's one for each, a box for each season. Now I do believe that they were selling these separately, and that you could buy them like individually, but it just made more sense to get them all at once, at least in my opinion, instead of just like piecemeal, you know. Yeah, so season one was, really about Jerica, Benton, Kimber, Shayna, and Aja forming the holograms and facing off against, the evil record exec Eric Raymond, who had worked with Jerica Benton's father, and had even been Jerica's boyfriend in a flashback. We get that backstory. Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking. Um, and we meet the Misfits, who are kind of like punk rock group, motorcycle gang. Um, they're like the bad girls. And yeah, they could have been written as, very one dimensional, um, uninteresting characters, but they weren't. And I think that was the cool part, that every character, every major character in Jem and the Holograms had an interesting backstory and had at least a few episodes devoted to understanding who they are. So, um, amongst the holograms, we get to understand how Kimber feels like she's in competition with her sister, older sister, and overshadowed by Jem in the band. Shayna is shy and an artist, and an amazing fashion designer as well as an amazing musician, but she's not as confident in herself. And Aja's really tough, and um, yeah, and the Misfits are interesting too, because um, Pizzazz is kind of, has this difficult relationship with her father, and Roxy doesn't know how to read, and Stormer is very conflicted, and she's kind of the creative force behind the Misfits, and they wouldn't really be um, any kind of band without her um, composition and musician skills, so her skills as a composer and a musician. And this is really awesome to have a show that was supposed to be a commercial to sell dolls that actually did like so much more than that, um, and was memorable in all the ways you'd hope to be. But I think that's kind of a thing for many 1980s cartoons, is that they ended up being more than just toy commercials because of the writing, the acting, the animation, like everybody involved was just doing a great job in many cases. I mean, Transformers, the Thundercats, um, Robotech, Voltron, like they all had that going on. They were all really great shows. And there's season 2. And season 2, they add, Rhea becomes part of the holograms, and she's the new drummer, and Shayna plays, I think she switches to bass guitar, which is really cool. And yeah, I mean, I like that Jem had a diverse cast, so, um, Rhea, Aja, and Shayna, as well as many of the Starlight Girls, and a lot of friends. So it was, it was like, it felt like a more realistic kind of show. And the fact that there was orphan, dealing with things like being an orphan, being adopted, losing a parent at a very young age, um, jealousy, greed, running away, drugs, um, disability. I mean, this show dealt with all of that. I mean, who would have expected something that was supposed to be a toy commercial to do all those things? So it was pretty amazing that it did that, and creating these catchy, fun songs that I'm so glad are hanging around on YouTube. And I think Hasbro, as far as I know, they still have episodes up at this time. I'm thinking, last time I checked anyway. So one of the bonus features of these DVDs is the video jukebox, which is pretty cool. Okay, so here is the actual DVDs themselves. They, of course, look like records, which is pretty cool. And we'll watch one just to show you what it's like, what it's like to watch these. And then we'll talk. I'll show the video jukebox too. One of the other things that I think was quite cool, remarkable about Jem and the Holograms is that it combined, romance with action. And that was something that kind of wasn't expected in a cartoon that was primarily aimed at girls at the time. So not only did Jem have like this, tense, conflicted romance, as both Jerrica and Jem with Rio, the purple-haired, handsome band manager, and kind of a tough guy, but a softer, tough guy. So not only did they have that like complicated, does he love me or does he love Jem? But also that every week the Misfits would actually put Jem and the Holograms in some sort of physical peril. Like there was car chases, nearly falling off a building, fire, like, natural disasters. Like Jem and the Holograms, and sometimes even the Starlight Girls, were in serious peril. So that was something that made it a little more exciting, because they, learning that they did want boys to watch the show, so I guess they felt they had to put more action. But funnily enough, everyone seemed to enjoy that the show had all those elements going on of romance and action adventure, as well as, a kind of a deep kind of a soap opera drama unfolding to dealing with serious issues in a smart and sophisticated way, that didn't talk down to the audience. So let's take a look at the DVD. Okay, so here is the video jukebox. So you can just select which song you want to watch the video for, and it gives you that segment. Because usually the videos, like the videos in each episode of Jem and the Holograms, took up, a fair chunk of time, but they were part of the storytelling. And yeah, so you can just kind of select them. So they're like segmented clips. taken from the episode, and it tells you, of course, whether it's Jem or the Misfits that did the song. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I love Jem and the Holograms. I think it's a fantastic cartoon. They, you know, that live action movie, I just wasn't into it, and of course I don't think I was the only one. A lot of other fans of the show just said, yeah, no way, not approving of that. I'll stick with my original, thank you very much. Alright, so that's all I really had to say about Jem. It's fantastic, it's wonderful. I think you can still catch episodes on YouTube that Hasbro has posted. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.